What's going on, folks? This is Mr. Coleon Noir, and what you're looking at is a Springfield Armory XDM subcompact chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. As long as I've been into guns, I've always liked the Springfield line of firearms, especially the XDM series. And today what I want to do is kind of give you a kind of a brief overview on my thoughts about the gun, and just kind of give you an idea of what this gun is like. If you were to give a 16-year-old a pen and paper and told him to draw a new design for a firearm, the XDM is pretty much what you would come up with. Now, don't take that the wrong way. I don't think that's a bad thing, but this gun is busy. I mean, just take a look at it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's an extreme level when it comes to attention to detail about this gun. There isn't any surface of this gun that hasn't been touched, milled, folded, stamped, you name it, it's been done. Now, to some people that may be too much. Some people like simplicity. Other people like busy, for lack of a better word. But for the most part, this gun is busy. But at the same time, it is very, very cool. And you cannot take that away from the XDM. It is a very cool looking firearm, and for the most part, I like it. I really do. Now, as far as the way this gun feels in your hand, when you first pick it up, the first thing you notice is that it feels like a tank. It looks like a tank, and it also feels like one too. And it's a very reassuring feeling, especially when you pick this up. The polymer frame of this weapon seems to be utilized a bit firmer plastic than most guns. With the Glock, you can see that it gives, and it'll probably give during, under the stress of firing and things like that. But this plastic seems really, really, really tough. And I'm pretty sure that speaks volumes in terms of just the build quality in and of itself. Now, I know the Glocks are meant to, flex on the firing, which is basically to absorb the recoil, but this plastic just does not give, no matter what you do. The grip is kind of deceptive, and what I mean by that is when you have the flush plate, magazine, it makes you seem as though you can get 3 fingers on the gun, and you can. The only thing about it is it's so slight that before you realize it, you're down to 2. Now, that kind of bothers me a little bit, but for some people, I'm pretty sure it won't make much of a difference. The grip serrations on this gun are plentiful, but they're also very, very, very effective. If you look here, now, as you can see, they have these back serrations, which almost look like reptile scales, and on the front, you also have these serrations also. Now, I like the serrations on the side of the grip because they're so spaced out that it allows you to place your fingers in between the grooves of the texture, which gives you a more positive grip. Especially and then you have the same reptile-like serrations on the front of the grip. And what this does is it allows you to really feel like you have a handle on the gun. And they are very aggressive, but not so aggressive that they're an irritant. And I really like them, to be honest with you. For a gun in this class, the size class, it is relatively heavy. It's not a deal breaker, but it is noticeable. Some people may like it because it makes the gun feel more solid. Other people may not like it too much. Another thing about the XDM compact is the designation of it being a compact. It's stamped on the side of the gun. It says compact. But technically, it's not a compact. It's a subcompact. Only problem with that is when you have subcompacts like the Glock 26. The Glock 26 is a subcompact. It's a small gun. This is considerably larger than the 26. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, all depends on the person. Because with this particular firearm, if you think the Glock 26 is too small and you think the 23 is too big, this would be the perfect gun for you, because what it is it sits right between a compact and a subcompact in terms of size. If you look at the trigger, it looks rather familiar, doesn't it? Kind of looks like that trigger, doesn't it? Yeah, because basically it is. Now, there are a lot of companies out there who've kind of mimicked the Glock safe action trigger, and I can't say that it's a bad thing. I really kind of feel indifferent either way. But with the Springfield, they have kind of mimicked the safe action trigger of the Glock, with minor differences. I will say this though, two favorite things about this gun that I do like are the serrations on the slide and the trigger. This is, and I'm pretty sure the weight has a lot to do with it too, but this is a very soft shooting gun. And I think the trigger and the weight combined make it a soft shooting gun, because I said before, this gun feels like a tank, but if there's one thing soft on this gun, it's the trigger pull. It's very smooth, it's very deliberate, and it's very soft, and I really, really, really like it. The Springfield XDM 40 Compact is riddled with safety features. It's funny though, because the main safety feature of all that you think would be on a gun that was overly outfitted with safeties would be a slide safety, and there isn't one on this gun, but man, are there a number of other ones. And let's start from the top. If you look here on the XDM, this would be a loaded chamber indicator. Firing pin, it shows you when it's cocked. It gives you a notification to let you know that this gun is cocked and ready to be shot. When you pull the trigger, it disappears into the gun, and this gun is no longer cocked. Once you cock it, it's back again. The trigger safety is, once again, the Glock-like blade sitting in the middle of the trigger guard, which has to be compressed in order for the gun to fire, with a grip safety much like the 1911. As you can see, there is the grip safety. So basically, if you do not have the proper grip on this handgun, it will not fire, as you can see. So thus far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 safeties on this gun. That's crazy. A loader, extended grips, back plates to change up the size of the firearm. You get a holster, a paddle holster. Of course, you get your gun lock. You get a magazine pouch also, a double magazine pouch. Extended magazine. And what this does is it takes your 10 round, your 11 round capacity, bumps it up to 13. You get quite a bit whenever you do purchase a Springfield, and I do think that the value for the money is absolutely worth it. And like I said before, the Springfield XDM has always been a guilty pleasure of mine. Absolutely love the firearm, and hopefully I can add one to my arsenal at some point. I love the way it shoots great. Hopefully I can do a shooting video with this firearm. But until then, this is Mr. Coley on the War, and this has been my brief overview of the Springfield XDM 40 subcompact. And you guys take it easy. And I'm out.